Hello there, Super IELTS students, and welcome back to part 3 of Mastering Tenses for IELTS General Writing Task 1, where we're going to have a run through of the 4 future tenses, how we use them, how we can create them and structure them for use within a Task 1 letter setting. And we'll of course begin with the future simple. So this is all about predictions or schedule events or actions that might take place in the future. This is subject plus will plus the base form of the verb. Okay, so for formal, I firmly believe your collective efforts will lead to improved service. Your collective efforts will lead. That's the part here where we're using the future simple tense. Your collective efforts is the subject plus will plus lead, the base form of the verb. Let's see an informal example. I'm sure we'll find a good place to study abroad if we keep looking. Sounds like they're being positive about their search there. I'm sure we will, 2 contractions, find. We will find. I is the subject, we will plus find, which is the base form of the verb, find. Okay, not too much to concentrate on there. Let's move on to our next run through, which is future continuous. This describes ongoing actions or events at a specific time in the future. And we structure this with subject plus will be plus the present participle. And you may remember the present participle is verb ing. Okay, formal example. Next year, we will be joyously celebrating the success of our endeavours. We will be joyously celebrating. Again, no contraction here. We will, not into will. Slightly more formal in tone. Let's see the informal example. She will be looking for a new job somewhere in the local area soon. Here we didn't use a contraction, but we're still saying it's an informal tone. However, we could probably make it even more informal by saying she'll be looking for a new job, and that would definitely be more natural within informal speech. She subject will be plus present participle, looking. Okay, now we are on to our perfect tense, future perfect tense. This expresses an action completed before another action in the future. So really there's 2 actions in place. We're talking about the first one that's happening in the future. I'm sure the examples will help you. Subject plus will have plus the past participle. Let's take a look at this. The paper will have corrected their error regarding our town and area. Okay, so if we think about what these 2 events may be, the first one, which we say is the paper, which I guess is a magazine or something, or possibly just a newspaper, they'll have corrected in the future some error they made. They'll probably correct it and then after print it so that everyone knows they made a mistake. So that's just to give you an idea of these 2 actions. We're focusing on the first action within future perfect. The paper will have corrected. Subject the paper plus will have plus past participle. Okay, let's see the informal example. I know I'll have organised the trip in a much more organised way. Okay, a bit of repetition there, but I know I'll have. Now, within a British, I'll just talk quickly about pronunciation. Of course, you will also be doing IELTS speaking. British people often contract to I'll have, instead of I'll have. Or maybe more posher people might say that if they're from London, say. But just a quick word on pronunciation there. I have, I know I'll have, I will have, I'll have. Got there eventually. I know I'll have organised the trip in a much more organised way. There we have an example of future perfect some contractions within that, within an informal situation. Okay, so now we're moving on to our final tense use structure and some examples that you can also include, if appropriate, within your letter. And that's future perfect continuous. When do we use this? An action that will continue up to a certain point in the future. So it's going to be ongoing to a second timeline in the future. And we do this with subject will have been present participle. That's verb ing. Here's an example. Efficiency boosting initiatives will have been working for some time. So we're kind of talking about 2 points in the future here. Efficiency boosting initiatives, so they're going to start sometime in the future, but they'll have been working for some time up until a second point in the future. Subject, efficiency boosting initiatives, that's what we're talking about, plus will have been, plus present participle, verb ing, will have been working. And our informal example, before the trip, I bet I'll have been checking our booking every day. Maybe this person's worried about something they've booked for a trip and they're telling their friends about it. Before the trip, I bet I'll have been checking our booking every day. I will have been, I'll have been checking. Checking, present participle of check. Okay, so there's another reasonably quick run through, but a good overview of all future tenses, all 4 future tenses that you can use within your IELTS letter writing contexts. And one thing I would say is with tenses, try to be accurate, and as you practice more and more questions, it will become much more natural to understand when to use them.